Hi, welcome to today's deck. Yeah, still another random commander, still no new sets on the horizon, so we're still doing the random things. And today, the generator gave me Karador, Ghost Chieftain, 5 white, black and green for a 3/4 Centaur Spirit. With this creature costs 1 less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard. And once during each of your turns, you may cast a creature spell from your graveyard. Yeah, Carador's a bit of a weird one, and I was really confused on how to do this, but then I decided to have a bit of fun, and I decided that Carador really needed a companion with Umori the Collector, 2 and black and green mana twice, so 2 hybrid mana. As the companion, each non-land card in your starting deck shares a card type, and as Umori the Collector enters the battlefield, choose a card type. Spells you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. Yeah, I've gone all in on creatures on this deck, which is really unusual for me. I very rarely have companions in my decks because I'm not really that keen on them, but I decided to have a bit of fun with this one. So I hope you enjoy today's deck, and here we go with it. Okay then, so 64 creatures in the deck to start with, which leaves us with 35 lands in the deck. And we'll start at the beginning. Azorius Shepherd, I've included it. Now this may seem a bit weird because obviously we're looking at a 3-colour deck, but most of the creatures do have green mana in them, so it makes sense to have this in here to stop everything being countered. And then we have some ramp with the Pilgrim and the Birds of Paradise. Gold Vein Hydra gives us even more ramp when it dies off because we get all those nice tapped treasure tokens. Insidious Fungus is here. We've had to find creatures that doubled up as other things as well that I normally play in my deck. So this is card draw and extra land drops or destroy target artifact or enchantment. So covering up some of the spells I'd normally play. Bristling Bill, the Spine Sower is here just to give us some +1/+1 synergies with all the landfall triggers. And then we have the mirrors of all 3 colours. We have the green one, the white one and the black one all in the deck to help with the mana ramp. Along with Gala Greeters, so we can get those treasure tokens, life and +1/+1 counters on them. We've got the Whip Cracker. Destroy target not token an opponent controls. It's here for that, and it's also here because there's a 3/2 with reach, which is quite good value for black and green, I fear. Lotus Cobra, more mana, getting the landfall triggers on the go. Spirited Companion for the card draw. The Sylvan Caryatid for more ramp, along with the Alloy Mirror to have the any colour mirror as well. Course for a Crucifix comes in to let's play lands off top of our library and get that life gain when we do so. Eternal Witness to return anything we need from our graveyard to our hand, especially if some of our creatures have been killed off and we need them back. I'm especially thinking of Umori because companions will go to the graveyard. They don't go back to the command zone, if I remember correctly, as Karador would do. Gwelaine, the casting director, makes another appearance in one of my decks. Again, the Royal Roll token is the thing we're aiming for with this, so hopefully we'll be able to get this out and get that going. Lauren of the Third Path is also another way of taking out artifacts or enchantments that are annoying us, and then a little bit card draw for you and an opponent. Mossborn Hydra comes in from Foundations. With the landfall triggers we're hopefully going to be getting, we'll be able to double this up really quickly with its +1/+1 counters. Nissa for more land, another version of Lotus Cobra. Maybe, I can't remember if there's any more elementals or elves in the deck. Honestly can't remember at the moment, but we'll get to it if we come to it. But it's more of another Lotus Cobra that's a little bit bigger. More ramp with Palladium Mia. Renegade Rally is in as well to return something that's been killed off. If a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, return target card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, which is a nice way of getting back some of the creatures that may have been killed off up here. Scoot Swarm, because who doesn't like a little bit of scooting? Tyler's Provisioner gives us treasures, and Tyler's Tracker gives us clues so we can carry on with the card draw. Benny Brack, Zoologist, just lets us get a card draw if we've made any tokens this turn, which we should be with at least these 3 cards. Or Biza the Bounding Spring does all the tricks we need to do in this deck. Kazur the Ruthless Stalker is also in. No partner, obviously, because Yukamama's Stalking Shadows black and blue, if I remember correctly. But whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to play, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on it, so a little bit more oomph. Doomscar Warrior comes in for the backup ability from March of the Machines. When this creature deals combat damage to a player or battle, look at that many cards from the top of your library. You may reveal a creature or land and put them in your hand, the rest on the bottom. So, yeah, Nice way of going through the top few cards of your deck. Elevira of the Wild Court just gives us virtuous roll tokens, which goes into play quite happily, and whenever an enchanted creature you control deals combat damage for play, we get to draw a card. Obviously it works really well with the previously mentioned card, which name has completely escaped me now, but you know the one I'm talking about. Casting Director. There you go. Then Autumn Sovereign also comes in to chuck around some +1/+1 counters and hopefully give us some more card draw. Merchant of Truth. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, investigate, and then clues have exalted, so it gives us a way of beating down one big guy. Marael, Shield of Algive, comes in as well to give us some soldier tokens when they attack. And Sivala, Eagle Trailblazer, again, mana ramp, and the Mercenaries, which is really nice. The Necrobloom produces more plant tokens for blockers, and if we control 7 more lands with different names, we get a 2/2 black zombie creature token instead. And land cards in our graveyard has Dredge too, so a nice way of filling up our graveyard with some creatures to cast back with Karador or make Karador's casting cost even cheaper. Acidic Slime blows up the most annoying thing on the board that isn't a creature, or a planeswalker, or a battle. Yeah. Alcatraz, Deepest Betrayal, also makes an appearance just because I wanted a bit of flying lifelink if I could do it somehow, and that's why they're here. There's not that much discard synergy unless people are cycling things, but at the end of the day, if we attack and get someone to discard, you get to draw a card, so we'll see what happens. Cavalier of Dawn, blow up an annoying thing that's non-land. Cavalier of Night, blow up a creature that's annoying and then return something when it dies. Conclave Evangelist comes in from the clue set Myriad, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of it, so another way of getting more bodies on the board. Elesh Norn, Mother of the Machines, lets us trigger the abilities of a permanent once or twice more. And same, so we get Elf Sworn Giant to produce the Elf Warrior creature tokens as things go along and the landfall happens. Fira, Judge of Valor, lets us get to look at the top 3 cards of our library, put one in our hand and the rest in our graveyard when we cast our second spell. Greensleeves gives us more creatures to play with the land drops. Marja, Breton Protector, pumps our creatures, and Landfall gives us a 1/1 human warrior creature token. Why I never said Landfall, I'll never understand, but hey, it's the way it is. Obnixilus the Fallen does the whole landfall thing to make him bigger and someone lose 3 life. And Oja Chasm, Deepest Growth. We want to hit with this, get free creature and a free land, which we'll be able to do with this deck, I hope. Sheldred also makes an appearance in the form of the in the True Scriptures version. Verdurous Gearhulk pumps our creatures up with a load of with 4 +1/+1 counters spread around. Aragon and Arwen Wed also do the trick with the +1/+1 counters and gain us some life. Armada Worm comes into play and gives us another 5/5 worm. Conclave Siege Captain does the backup. And whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. So a nice way of pumping through some of our threats. Lumara, Bellow of the Woods, lets us go and find the lands. We mill the cards and return all our lands, which helps. The Deepest Foundation, because we are creating the Deepest Foundation, we are creating tokens, so this makes even more sense. Because Rampaging Baloths is here. Sun Titan's also here to return anything that's been killed off early in the game. Avenger of Zendikar gives us the plants. Bellatrus Witherbloom gives us a pest each turn, which we can then use to gain some life when they're killed off. Merkor, Lord of Bones, whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it, and if you do, create a token that's a copy of that card except as an enchantment and loses all other card types. Yeah, may have its uses. Sheldred, the Whispering One, had to have the original Sheldred in here because of the size of the deck and what we're trying to do. Shriekwood Devourer, I'm starting to fall in love with, I have to say. Whenever you attack one or more lands, untap X lands where X is the greatest power amongst those creatures. Archon of Cruelty's here as well, just to make sure we can get some an opponent sacking a creature, losing life, discarding a card, and us gaining through and drawing a card. And then finally, because there's no point in doing this without it, Apex Devastator, Cascade, 10/10. Yeah, go on, deal with it. I will go through the lands just for a change, because obviously there's a lot of creatures, not many lands. We have got our growth in here so we can mill the cards and get a bear token, which will help with Karador's casting cost. The usual selection of white, black and green lands are in the deck. Nothing particularly fancy, but Blackmore Salvage is worth pointing out that it does dredge for us. We have got Field of the Dead because it'd be pointless having it in here, this sort of deck on the go without it, to give us 3 zombies. You can drop Gaea's Cradle if you're trying to build this in real life, unless you're lucky enough to own one. You can just replace it for another forest, but hey, with the amount of creatures and its MTGO that I'll be mainly playing on, it made a lot of sense. Gavany Township pumps all our creatures up, so it gives us that bit. Godless Shrine, and then one of each of the hidden cards that fit in, so we can do the whole Discover 4 thing to hopefully hit something useful. To make sure our creatures are protected, we've got Homeward Path in the deck, just to make sure that anyone who does nick our stuff, we can get it back again. We've got Mikorakul, Centre of the Sea here as well, to help everyone draw some cards and make friends. Minas Tirith lets us draw a card if we attack with 2 or more creatures for 2 mana. And then beyond that, we've just got the usual selection of Reliquary Tower in the deck and Temple of the False God. So, yeah, that's really my take on Karador with Umori. I've playtested a little bit. It seems to work okay. I'm not going to say it's one of the most powerful decks I've ever made here on the YouTube channel. But at the end of the day, if you get a bit of fun playing this, you'll have a lot of fun playing this. So, for now, that's it for me today. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Hope you've enjoyed this one. And please, if you haven't before, hit the subscribe button down below. Come and give me a follow over on Twitch. There's a link in the description of the video. And you can see me play these when I'm streaming. Yeah, hit the bell icon, hit everything else. Share this video, help me get my numbers up. That'd be fantastic. But for now, thanks for watching. Take care. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.